Hey everyone, and welcome back to our coverage of the Fall Game Night Kit Tournament that happened in Rochester, New York over at good old Millennium Games. My name is Tim, and I'm with you here for a game between Ben on the left playing Valencia and Kevin on the right playing Personal Evolution. And so, Personal Evolution is a deck that was starting to gain a lot of traction, I would say, right before Order and Chaos came out. And then I've had worse, and Max and the popularity of Keyhole and all of that hit an all-time high, and it kind of fell off the map. And then since then, we've seen Film Critic, which hurts a lot of that ability that you see. So Personal Evolution hasn't been massively popular lately, but Kevin is a stalwart. He's been playing it for a long time, and has had some pretty good success with it, so I'm excited to see what he's got going on. And then Ben, of course, playing Valencia, which gives him that bad publicity. And it looks like, okay, we're injecting. Kevin just getting some things up and going. Oh, we've got Trope, Mem Chips. Oh, it's Personal Workshop and Security Testing. So some very interesting splashes here on Ben's side. So be interesting to see how things are going once everything gets set up. So likely looking to use that bad pub to get things off of the Personal Workshop for cheap, and hopefully get his rig set up cheaply and quickly. So he is all raring to go. And Kevin's sitting on some money and scores out a House of Knives. So things are starting to get interesting already. And he snags a Deja Vu, which is one of those ones you don't really want to lose as the runner. You're fine losing just about anything else because Deja Vu can grab it back for you. So sticking Security Testing over there on Archives. And so what he can do once he gets a few more things on the Personal Workshop is during his Security Testing run, gain some money off Security Testing and spend his bad publicity on the Workshop. So getting a lot of value out of there. Personal Workshop, unfortunately, is a fairly high influence cost, so that's between Security Testing and Personal Workshop, that's probably close to all of his influence, I would guess. And sitting on a comfortable 4 cards. As a Jinteki player, you get pretty used to asking how many cards in hand before they do anything. Likely thinking about whether or not he wants to use House of Knives counters on Ben's Security Testing runs, and just putting the old fear of Jinteki into his heart. So icing up and getting a little more money. So we've got some Mem Chips over there sitting on the Workshop, ticking down. Likely means we're going to be seeing a pile of viruses, because that's why you play Mem Chips. Oh, and public support or public sympathy as well. So probably looking at Faust, I would expect, if we're going that way. Okay, and yeah, doing that little play where he's using the bad pub during his Security Testing run to pull more counters off of his workshopped stuff and bumping that hand size. So that increasing hand size is a very strong play against Jinteki, of course. Oh, and it looks like it's Duggar's up there, that little resource at the top of the screen that you can't quite see. So looking to increase that hand size and then Duggar up to a big hand size, and then you can run pretty much without fear against Personal Evolution. So yeah, that is one of the challenging things of playing PE these days, is that a lot of things that weren't printed probably as direct counters to it, but kind of function as counters to it, have come out. And so you really have to be on point, and the games are always really stressful. They're always really fun. I love playing Personal Evolution, and I like playing against it too, because the games are always fun and tense. Oh, and blackmails R&D. Throwing Security Testing on that advanced thing. Going at 2 cards in hand. This is a very dangerous run. And he scores a House of Knives, so that pings him for 1 net damage. Getting a Parasite out. And drawing back up. Again, that's a pretty dangerous run against PE, because you're expecting 3 snares and 2 or 3 fetal AIs, meaning he would have died to snares, or if he had hit a fetal AI, he would have been able to steal it. And using one of those House of Knives counters, hits another blackmail. Not a huge concern for GNK in this case. They're not looking to build some kind of big glacier to score behind. Usually using the threat of a kill to score out your agendas. Building up that remote game. And something got motioned out a couple turns ago. Not quite sure what it could be. It could be any number of hideous traps, or he could just be waiting to score something like a Phallotic Entanglement. Oh, that wasn't Duggars at the top. That was the investigative journalism, which Ben can spend his turn to get another bad pub. And Expose, of course, very good against GNK, so seeing that is a fetal AI. So now that the jig is up, we'll likely see that get scored out if Ben can't draw up enough to go steal it. Because again, he'd have to take 2 damage for accessing fetal, 1 for stealing it, and 1 for hitting the House of Knives. So he has to have a pretty good size hand in order to go steal that. So with that increased hand size, he can likely just draw up and in and be pretty safe. So will we see Kevin's... Okay, so icing up, since he knows he's already used one of those blackmails and seen another one get pinged off by an agenda score. So not particularly worried about it at this point. And advancing another thing on the board. So this is that board state that Personal Evolution thrives in, where they just build up a lot of remotes. Some are advanced, some are unadvanced, and you don't really know what to do. And so not knowing what to do, building up your own board is often a good choice. So Ben throwing a few things on the Personal Workshop, and choosing not to use the House of Knives grabs a data sucker off of there with a bad publicity, so saving a little bit of money. And get some security testing money, some data sucker counters, and just a couple cards in hand. So again, a fairly risky run here. 2 cards in hand and no way to break anything. And we see a pup. He does have a parasite, so any of the low strength stuff, and hits House of Knives for his corroder, and let's see what he's got in hand. And Jackson Howard. That is definitely something you want to get rid of. Keep GNK off of drawing into all of those traps that they're trying to lay out. Oh, and he had Contract Killer on the board, so advances that out and hits him with the meat damage for the kill. So running a little... Oh, that was a Duggars up there, it looks like. So Ben running a little risky, in my opinion, on GNK there. If he had been willing to take a bit of a longer game, he probably could have shored up, and then with that big hand size and Duggars, kind of every other turn made an attack. But Kevin able to grunt things out there and take home the win. So thanks you guys for tuning in, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.